Hello, friends, and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz, and I'm back with another goofy Easter card for you today. I could not help myself. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, there was always a chocolate bunny in our Easter baskets. And so this one says, uh-oh, as our springtime gnome is hanging on to him. The star of the show is probably the bunny. He comes from the Easter basket add-on. This fits beautifully on the egg-shaped card, but we're actually just going to put it on a standard A2 card base today. It fits there as well. If you love shaped cards, definitely check out the Trinity store. They have tons of wonderful shaped card dies. I just wanted to add a little bit of texture and dimension to this basket, especially on the bottom. It's got some debossed detail for the basket weave. And so I'm going over that with a light brown ink. It looks pretty dark here, but it dries back a lot. So if I was doing this card again, I might go one shade darker and be a little bit brave. It would have required a softer hand, but the blending buddies make that pretty easy. Then I'm using a smaller brush to ink blend onto the grass for the basket. It's a shading Sidekick. If you haven't seen these, they are so fluffy, which matters because it's easier to get softer color or to blend into nothing. If you have the blending buddies, the sort of standard size brushes that I was using earlier, these are fluffier than those. And so I really like them when I'm working with small, delicate pieces. I'm also going to add some ink around my chocolate bunny. Again, it dries back a fair bit. You can see it in person on camera. You can see it when it's wet, which is fine. We're also going to grab a pen and we're going to add a little eyeball onto this guy in just a minute. This is the springtime gnome. This one's been around for a little while. I love him. This beard is so great. It has great movement. And so I am going to try to add a little more texture. I am nobody's alcohol marker hero, but if I can do this, you can do this. This is, again, my lightest gray marker because it's more forgiving. And I am just flicking up from the bottom, following the curves of the beard that are already there, and then flicking down from the top. On days when I'm feeling braver, I'll go in a second time with fewer flicks and my next darkest gray. Both of them still very light. But it's hard to see here just because my lights are so bright, but there's a little bit more texture and dimension on there. And then when I go to assemble my gnome, it's super quick and easy because it layers exactly over the top of his face piece. So there's no guesswork at all. Then I'm going to start putting his hat together, and you can pick and choose from tons of accessories. So the bunny ears that we're going to add come in that set. There's also a small Easter egg, a pot of gold, a heart. He's a great sort of all 6 spring seasons for sure. But then there are so many ways you could dress him up for the holidays too. And I love gnomes. I cannot help myself. My husband thinks I'm nuts. Our whole house is full of gnomes at Christmas. So he cracks me up, and I knew immediately I wanted to stick him in this basket. The bunny ears here are one of my favorite things just because you could put them on anything. They're sized beautifully. So they work on our gnome, but they're small enough you could put them on lots of other die cut pieces. If you like Trinity stamps, if you're familiar with them, they have a bunch of tiny dies, a tiny alien, a tiny astronaut, tiny elves. And so these would work really nicely on a lot of those different critters. I'm going to set that aside. We'll finish him as we assemble the basket onto the card, but I wanted to make a beautiful cloudy background. Y'all, it's been crazy weather where I live, and I am ready for some blue skies and warm weather and plants growing. And so I wanted that feel on the back of this card. I'm using the Puffy Cloud stencil. It's my favorite. It is so huge. So there's so many different looks you can get for your clouds as you continue to rotate this. It's a 6 by 9 inch stencil. So I'm going almost all the way down to the bottom. And when I ink blend, I just pull gently up, starting on the stencil, and then sort of fading into nothing. I wanted a little grass on the bottom. So again, I'm pulling out a lot of like older products that are staples in my set. This is from the Scenic Borders, and it creates a nice little grassy landscape, and it's sort of slimline size. So you can sort of pick and choose. Do you want a hill? Where do you want your hill? How's this going to slope and how's it going to move? We're doing one for now. I'm going to grab a second one a little bit later because once we put the basket on it, I wanted a little more texture and dimension just in front of it. But I cut a piece that was bigger than I need because this is my favorite way to clean it up, just to flip it over and trim off the excess with my scissors. They glide right along the edge of that A2 card base. We're going to start assembling the basket. This sort of taller piece of grass tucks right into it. And so I am just sort of sticking the tip of my glue bottle in there. I wanted to make sure it looked pretty good from the front before I started doing that. And then the second piece will go beautifully right in the front. Sometimes I get overwhelmed by die sets that have lots of pieces, and I worry that they're going to be difficult to put together. And so I'll spend a bunch of time sort of dry fitting things and making sure I know what's going on before I start. And I didn't on this one. It was a really busy work week for me, and I had zero problems. It was so beautifully easy to assemble. I knew where everything went. There was no guessing. And I like this too, that I'm able to sort of assemble the entire basket and use it as a single piece before I add it onto the card. So I have a better sense of spacing and of size. This is just ever so slightly shorter than my A2. My grass is going to hang off very slightly on the edges. You could trim it, but it fit okay in my A2 envelope, so I am not worried about it. Also, I generally am never worried about it. I'll just use a bigger envelope. I added just a tiny bit of thin foam behind the bottom of my gnome on his beard because there's a lot of cardstock behind the top parts. And I didn't want that beard to look sloped, like it was curved around the cardstock of the basket. So that worked nicely for me. And then I grabbed another piece of grass from that Scenic borders, and I will lay that on the bottom, just covering that basket ever so slightly. So we sort of have layers of grass going on there. Once the basket's assembled, I can add my bunny. So I just have a little black pen I use to add his little eyeball on there. You guys, this cracks me up so much. So I'll add some wet glue and get the spacing right. I did play with that quite a bit ahead of time to make sure I wasn't covering up too much of the gnome. But then you just have these two hands. There's no arms. They just sort of come out from inside of the bushy beard. And I picked where the thumbs were going to go and then just added those on there really easily. I have the tiny speech bubbles, and it's the perfect size. And then I'm going to grab the alphabet soup set. There is an entire alphabet in there that is small enough that you can create easy wording and it will fit on your card, but they're big enough that it's not a total nightmare to deal with, right? My eyes are getting older. So I'm pretty picky about what I'm willing to fight with to try to see and what I'm not. And this was not a problem at all. It just barely fits the uh-oh. And then I used one of the letters for the dash because there isn't a dash in there, but that's it. I got a little bit of foam just to even this out because it's a little bit of uneven terrain here with all the cardstock on there. And I'll give that to my bunny. And then we can work on the sentiment. This is probably going to one of my kids, by the way. I think they're going to get a real kick out of it. So I have the Simply Sentimental Happy and the Simply Sentimental Easter. I'm actually just using the die sets. The die sets each have whichever word is their word. So either happy or Easter in a bunch of different fonts, and then you get the word and the shadow. So I cut the words out with some rip and stick sheet. It's a double-sided adhesive sheet behind them. And I love when this happens. The word stayed in the die. So I can just lay the die straight onto the shadow layer. Then I use my pokey tool to try to poke and press that die cut onto the shadow layer. In the end, it starts pulling up as I remove the die itself because I missed a step. What I should have done was to flip the whole thing over and to press my thumb firmly on that shadow layer to make sure I've got good contact with the adhesive on the word. I forgot. I'm going to just give up on Easter and lay it down by hand, which is easy enough. But if you're going to go ahead and put rip and stick sheet behind it, just be sure to press on that shadow layer. In the end, if I'm working with it and it has glue on it, or I'm not using the die to lay right on top, because sometimes it doesn't stay in the die, I just start on one end. I focus on one word and getting it kind of centered on the shadow layer, and then I move slowly down to the other end. I decided that even though that white panel is A2, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, I wanted a little bit of color around the outside to finish it off. So I cut another layer that is 1/8 of an inch bigger, 4 3/8 by 5 5/8. I'll use a slightly bigger envelope, or I'll skip an envelope altogether. I'm not really worried about it, but certainly an A6 envelope is just slightly bigger than A2, and that would work nicely here. But it tied in that dark teal that I have going on with the Happy Easter, and it just helped the card to feel finished. So I've got Happy at the top overlapping his hat ever so slightly, and then Easter down there at the bottom. And our card, my friends, is nearly complete. You'll have to let me know, do you make funny cards? Do you make funny Easter cards? And do you make your own sentiments? I just think it's a really great way to personalize and get a great laugh. Friends, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.